Happy Wednesday. We have our Imperfect food box for the week. It is mostly vegetables. Again, Imperfect Foods is a company that sends foods that are not supermarket spec, foods that are overstocked, and foods that have short shelf life to consumers for a discounted price. We've been getting these about 2 months now, and for the most part we've been happy with them. We did have a problem with last week's box, which I'll explain more in the blog. If you're viewing this on YouTube, we'll have a link below. If you're already on the blog, then you'll see it there. We got some organic food that came with a small amount of mold. And unfortunately, the mold seemed to spread through almost everything we got in the box. We only were able to use a few items that were in there. Probably 2/3 of the box was eventually lost to mold. So this week, I have compensated by not buying organic in hopes that maybe some of the treated foods will not be carrying the mold. That's the first time we've had that issue. It started with one little tomato and it just spread everywhere. So we're going to go ahead and unbox for this week and see what we have in here.
We would like to apologize for the sound in the background. We have our washing machine running, in case you noticed that.
Scoot this back a little more. And we will start this week with an eggplant. This eggplant has a few little scrapes on it, a few imperfect marks. It has a good texture to it and looks very tasty. The carrots this week look pretty normal. Remember last week we had the ones that were giant. This looks like a normal sized batch of carrots. I did get shallots again. Nice big ones. Good condition. So far what I'm seeing all looks good. There's another one, it's a little smaller. One thing I like about getting shallots and onions is you can chop them up and freeze them very easily. So that's something that you can order a lot of when they have it, and it will last for a while. Now here's something that has some damage to it.
Ooh.
The other side looks fine. This side has a lot of damage to it. If you take off those outside stalks, the inside looks to be okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, about 4 stalks of celery here will be damaged, and the rest looks fine. That's the kind of thing that they won't send to a supermarket, but that allows us to get discounted groceries. I got some more cilantro this week. We are moving our taco night to Thursdays, so I can use some of this fresh food in it, and that includes the cilantro, because that will not keep until Taco Tuesday next week. There's some more carrots, and if you saw last week's blog post, you'll know I took pictures of everything and had a list of how much everything costs so you can see the cost comparisons. And I will do that again this week. I believe I got 2 pounds of carrots this week.
Hey, one of the carrots is missing a tip.
I got a couple of them missing a tip. That doesn't affect the rest of the carrot though, does it?
No, it doesn't.
We've got a cucumber. This is a little small for a grocery store. A little on the soft side, not too bad. I love cucumbers. Again, another one that's a bit small for the grocery store. Here is an onion. And we have some condensation in this bag again. It looks like we have a cold pack down there, and that's probably the reason. Okay, we have a zucchini that has had some traumatic injury to it.
Ooh.
This looks like it happened during shipping. That looks like a fresh break. It's very wet, and here's the rest of it. So I'll get that cleaned up and processed quickly, and that won't be a problem. But that's some of what you can expect in a box like this. Again, they do not put any packing material to separate or cushion this, just a little bit of butcher paper in here, or I'm sorry, brown craft paper in here. That's not really enough to give a lot of cushioning. And we've got 1 head of cauliflower. This is obviously packed for the store. It's a little small. Not sure why that didn't make it to the store unless it was just too small and got rejected at the last minute. It looks like it was ready to go. And I got mushrooms again this week. I do love mushrooms. My sons do not. More for me, right, Dan?
Look, I've tried mushrooms. It just doesn't sit well with me.
If you finally don't like them, that's fine. If you don't like them because you've never tried them, then you don't know. So we've got a few tomatoes. These are very small. They look like Roma once again. The only conventional tomatoes I've gotten from this company are Roma tomatoes. And these are very light in color. But they're probably off spec for store for being light in color. It's over here. How far back I can scoop this so we don't have vegetables on the floor. There's another zucchini. And zucchini number 3. And they do classify the zucchini as summer squash on the website. Let's see what else I can pull out here before I get to the goodies in the bottom. More carrots. I believe I ordered 2 pounds of carrots this week. Got something in a bag. I know what this is. Unusual find for me.
Oh.
Applesauce.
Oh ho ho ho.
My kids love applesauce. Daniel, of course, loves apples in general. Any apple he can get is his friend. This is something I could use to make apple muffins or apple cake or apple bread. Or I suspect it will just be eaten straight by at least 2 of the 3 guys in my house.
Look, apple season is over as of recording this, so applesauce is a good compromise for me.
Now, something they had on the list this week that I don't usually see is pasta. Excuse me. Pasta. This was 99 cents a packet, which is about what I pay in the store for some pastas. But this slightly larger bag than I usually get for $1, it looks like.
Those are penne noodles, right?
This is penne, and we'll use this in baked pasta dishes. We mostly bake the penne. But they also had, see if I can say this right, gnocchi. I think that's gnocchi. Maybe gnocchi. I don't know. I believe it's gnocchi. That is a potato pasta. And this is frozen, and this is why we have a cold pack this week. I got 2 packages of it. It was a little more than that, but that's something I don't usually buy. And I think I'm going to try to substitute that in a pasta soup this week. I have ideas. We've got more onions. I got as many onions as I thought I could process in the store this week. Because we do use them a lot. They came in 2s, and I ordered 3 units. So there are 6 onions, and that's a nice big one.
That's a lot of onions.
That's a lot of onions. We will use them all though. We put onions in a lot of stuff.
Who are you going to make cry?
Myself, apparently, when I cut those up. A couple more tomatoes. Between the onion, the tomato, and the cilantro, I think it'll be a nice sauce for tomorrow's fajita night. And here's one of my treats, candies. These are actually candy covered almonds. So it gives me a lot of the yum with not as much of the sugar.
And with that, my mind is in the gutter. Look at the title of the...
Let's not go there.
too late.
Too late, you took us there.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Rest for tomatoes, we have one here that has a little damage, but again, that's a small spot that can be cut out. And again, so far all we've gotten are these thin skinned potatoes, which I really like because you don't have to peel them before you stick them in a stew. And looking through, that is the end of it for today.
Back to the cold pack. How's the condition on that?
It is frozen solid.
Alright.
It is a cool day today. When you get something frozen or that needs to be refrigerated, you do get a cold pack. We hit the spin cycle, sorry about the noise. But other than that, if there's nothing, then they try not to send a cold pack. It saves them money, it saves us from having to recycle it. I will point out though, the cold packs they send are an earth-friendly cold pack. It says that it can be disposed of, cut open and disposed of in the drain. So far I'm kind of saving them because I do have uses for cold packs around here. So
And I, in turn, have use for the insulation inside.
Yeah, we try to reuse everything possible. This company, we've been receiving ours through FedEx. According to the website, if you order within their personal delivery, where you have an Imperfect Foods driver delivering, you can actually give them their materials back and they will take them and make sure they're recycled. It says here it's made with recycled materials. So there is an effort on the part of the company to be as earth-friendly as possible. There are a few plastics in the pack with the cold packs, but for the most part, I've commented that they don't wrap things. That saves them from having stuff to dispose of. It saves the trash, it saves them from having to recycle. So there is a purpose to that. Okay, this week's box was $31, I believe. I'll have the exact prices on the website again. If you're on YouTube, look below and you will see a link to the blog post. We are linking directly to the post so you don't have to go hunting through the site for it. And you'll have a complete list of what we got, what we paid for it, and our shipping total, and we will give pictures of the individual items there as well. So that is that for this week. And thank you for coming in. Help us out. Hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. If you're on the website, you can click through to YouTube and hit the subscribe. That will help us out tremendously. We appreciate your view. Bye-bye.